don't chase these people too long. You can just ask like, yeah, I get it, wrong timing or just not a good fit. Don't like make this longer than it needs to be. These people are on the verge of hanging up on you. If you can get this out, you maybe get a chance. I've booked some nice meetings because they immediately said no because they just didn't like it was bad timing. And instead of just saying, yeah, okay, have a nice day, I asked, yeah, wrong timing or just not a good fit. This comes out in seconds, right? Like this comes out before they hang up, which is why you need to keep this short. And then if it's wrong timing, you literally just sidestep this objection. You say, no worries, I can call back tomorrow at 2 p.m. That works? Suggested time, right? Don't ask them, when can I call back? They're going to say, never, I'll reach back out. Just say, I'll call back tomorrow too. That works? Sure. You call back the next day, you say the exact same thing again, and just say, awesome. I called you yesterday, and then you repeat the pitch, and you just repeat from the beginning. It's very simple. If it's a bad fit, like they just think like this is not a thing for them. You say, makes sense, sounds like you actually care who you work with. What would make this a good fit for you? Because maybe they want a feature or they've been burned before, and you actually do that, but you didn't convey that in the pitch because obviously you have limited time. So here you give them the opportunity to actually respond to you and say what they need. And then you can say, well, we actually do that. Boom. And you're back in it again. All right. As soon as you handled these and you moved on, you steer the conversation to go here. Or if they say, yeah, I'm dealing with the problem, then you just say, how are you currently dealing with that? Like, what are you currently doing to solve X? Because you want to learn what they've already done. Because that increases pain, and pain is a requirement to sell and for people to take action. Imagine you light a fire under someone. That's essentially what you're doing with this question. They're going to run out and they're going to run towards a sales call. So this is why you do this. All right. If they answer, whatever they answer, you say, yeah, I hear that a lot. Again, through their expertise. Mind if I share some thoughts? You get another step of like permission just as an expert. Every word in here is carefully chosen, right? And it's very short. Yet you still say everything you need to say. Everyone is going to say yes. Never had someone say no here. Like of thousands of calls, no one says no. Say, great. Well, we speak to a lot of their type of business, right? Again, you repeat this. And they always tell us that problem XYZ is a huge headache. And here you just name the problem that they literally told you they have. We fix that by simply, and then you input like a 1 to 2 sentence pitch. Ideally, you keep it very simple. We fix that by simply doing this, so we can do this, and that's why it worked. To avoid consequences, and here you just input like a very short like wording of what happens if they don't solve the problem. What's the deeper layer, right? Let's say they don't solve the problem for another 2 years, what would happen? That's what you input here. They're going to know because they think about this all the time. I need to solve this or X, right? And you just remind them of that to, again, increase the pain. So we fix that by simply expert insight to avoid the consequences. And this exact thing has worked for 50 clients so far. You following me so far? Right? Are you following me? You can keep it shorter so you don't say so far twice. That's easy, right? So again, you confirm your expertise. You say that everyone has this problem. You fix that problem using an expert insight to avoid those consequences. And your fix has already worked for however many clients you have so far. And then you ask, you following me? Indicating that there's more to come, so they're curious what the next step is. But the next step is just booking the meeting. If they say no, then you just answer the question they have, and after every answer, you say, does that make sense? If they say no, you answer their question again, you give them all the info they need, right? This you can't really script. As soon as they say, yeah, that makes sense, you say, great. Well, I'd love to show you how the setup would look like for you specifically and have AE name, right? Or if you close, just say you, right? And have John answer more specific questions. You got time later today at 4 or tomorrow at 10 or 11 a.m.? You suggest times for today or tomorrow. That just helps with show rates and close rates. Just book same day appointments, right? And you suggest them times so you easily say yes to them. And this is how you book meetings.